It is the morning of January 12th, Thursday. We are 12 days into the new year. Yesterday was Jan 11, 1/11, 23. But I just re-engaged a therapist that I had been seeing until about right around in August of last year, with everything connected to the move. And at the time I thought I wanted to re-engage with therapy because I had just gone to that brachial plexus camp and gotten this information about potential surgery that might be available to my arm. And you can watch my daily update that is around kind of the journey with that. But one of the hard things about therapy to me, or at least this specific conversation, I just finished my appointment, is that it just reminds me how bad my anxiety can be sometimes. And then I judge that, and it makes me feel bad. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. So after I record this, I'm probably gonna just take a break, go back to bed. My appointment was at 8 o'clock, which I haven't been able to wake up that early because I've been having a hard time going to sleep. So the past couple of days though have been pretty fun. I went to a screening of 38 at the Garden last night, and Jeremy Lin and the director and producers were there, and some of the people who had starred in the film were also there too, and that was pretty cool. And I ended up going by myself. I heard about it. My friend Jerry posted about it on LinkedIn, but he was there with his friend. So I got a ticket for myself, and I ended up sitting next to this guy who's like, yeah, I heard about this event through a Taiwanese American group that we're in. And I'm like, oh, is it this group? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I was pretty involved when I lived in New York. And then I joined the Facebook group in San Francisco, but haven't really been that involved. So they ended up bringing a group of 4 or 5 people. And that was fun because I just met them, and we stuck around for a while, maybe until a little after 10, hoping that maybe Jeremy would come back for some photo ops, but we didn't get it. I don't know if he ended up coming out later, but by the time we left, they were already cleaning up all of the boards, the poster boards that they had put up, and one of the girls from our group, or another woman in the group also lives close to me, so she drove me home. But I think I've just been trying to figure out what relationship I want to have to the area that we're living in, where our apartment is. And the thing my therapist said to me is that if I wasn't in this relationship, I wouldn't be living here, which is true. So I also think being here by myself for the next couple of weeks is also contributing to my anxiety. It's not the best area to be in. So I've kind of just been thinking about that. And I actually didn't think that much about that until my therapist kind of drilled it in on the call. And my sense of safety, my relationship with safety has been something that I have been working on through therapy for a while. It got really bad when I was living in San Francisco, and anti-Asian hate crimes were on the rise, and I've had my own experiences with all of that. In 2016, on my commute to work in the morning, just randomly getting hit in the face by someone. I ended up filing a police report, and then a couple years later getting followed home from the Oakland airport and running into the building across the street, which did have a doorman, and waiting until a security guard came by to escort me back to my place, and then going to an event with a friend and walking a little bit, but then realizing someone was following us, so we both called ride shares right away to get us home, to then having an incident on a bus where someone was so aggressively tried to pull me out of my seat that other bystanders had to pull that person away, to having someone roll someone in Marin area when my friend and I were going on a hike come by and roll down their window and tell us go back to where you came from. We don't want you here. So from aggressive actions to verbal harassment to flying back from hiking Kilimanjaro and having someone tell me, being pulled aside when I landed in the US and sent to a quarantine room, and being questioned about when the last time I was in mainland China, even though I had literally flown back from the continent of Africa. Like, I think they were perplexed that and it was so interesting because I had literally accomplished something that to me was so amazing and so hard. And then to come and be questioned about my history of traveling to mainland China, and I had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, this was February 2020. So, which then ultimately led to misinformation around how COVID came to be, and just because of the way that we looked and our skin color, people treated us a certain way. But these were all themes that were kind of touched on in the film, which is why I thought about it now. But Frank Chi, who's the director, kind of broke out like three areas, three parts of the film. So one was, really overcoming doubt that other people had about the dreams that you had, and then seeing so much solidarity happening. And then now to our current moment where people are being judged and attacked based on simply the way that we look. Something interesting actually happened at the event as well, which is, I don't know if I've mentioned this here, but part of the reason that I moved to LA was that I wanted to find a way to get involved with the LA 28 Olympics and Paralympic Games that are coming to the LA area in 2028. I'm also trying to be better about not using filler words so often, so you will notice that maybe I am speaking slower, trying to be more intentional about not using those filler words. But I was telling someone about how I moved here, not only because I was in this relationship and wanted to see what it would look like if we lived in the same city, but also try to figure out a way that I could start making the relationships needed to get involved in one way or another. And I've been able to make some strides. I will be excited to share that update when the time comes. But I have taken a lot of what I've learned being involved in the San Francisco Mayor's Disability Council and the Community Alliance of Disability Advocates, and serving on the Leadership Planning Committee for the Disability Cultural and Community Center, and bringing a lot of those learnings here, which has actually been a good strategy for navigating how to get in touch with different people and make those connections and show up and get involved in the community. But also keep in mind that now we're in 2023, so we're 5.5 years away from this event. And I know that things take time. But here I was kind of sharing what the longer term plan was. And this person was just questioning and doubting what I was trying to do, from being like, yeah, but this just isn't on the city's priority list, or it's going to be really difficult for you. And it just felt kind of ironic because we had literally just watched a movie about someone, Jeremy Lin, who had so many people doubting what he wanted to do, and he let his talent speak for itself. And the reflection of the film was for people to kind of walk away from it reflecting on what they wanted their own Linsanity moment to be, where they believed so much in themselves and overcame doubt. And I've never been a big person around overcoming culture, but this is one instance where overcoming, I think, makes sense. All of that just felt really ironic to me, that we literally just watched a film about someone who had big dreams and who saw those dreams come to fruition, to now me vocalizing something that I wanted to do, which in some ways, in only 6 months of being here, I've been able to make some inroads, but I can't wait to share those updates. But having someone who didn't even know me kind of question the intention and how successful he thought I was going to be. And it also made me think about a dynamic that I don't know if it's an LA thing or something that happens within the Asian community, but I'm really hoping that we can have more solidarity of, and this is something that I noticed back in 2017. I was at a conference called Unleash, and there was someone in my group who was from mainland China, and he said that one thing he noticed was interesting was how we in the Asian community didn't really show up and cheer each other on, like lift each other up. And I guess it's been a while since I've had someone react that way to me talking about the things that I've wanted to do, but that was interesting. And I've already talked for 12 minutes. So we're gonna end that here, but I've spent the last couple of days at a couple different events, which have been pretty fun. And also just catching up with friends, kind of having like a New Year's push of wanting to stay in touch with people. So that is, I think that's all I have. But I'm going to try to be a little bit better about using these daily updates as a way to also practice not having so many filler words. But a lot of anxiety, I guess the TLDR, a lot of anxiety, went to a great event, but had some ironic moments happen during it. And all of this made me really reflect on, and we just had the Golden Globes where we had so many wins for the Asian American and Pacific Islander community as well. So just reflecting on what Asian solidarity looks like and where we have room to grow. But I hope you have a great day today, and I will see some of you soon.